Ba weep, grana weep, ninibong. Welcome back to my channel, where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. And today I'm going to bring you a little video dedicated to Halloween, with a bit of a twist. I'm not going to talk about actual terror, actual fright, but just something that terrifies me personally about some of my Transformers. Now again, as always, I love Transformers. I collect Transformers, I collect Transformers comics, I play Transformers computer games, I have a Transformers YouTube channel, I have a Transformers Instagram, I have a Transformers Twitter that I use sometimes, but anything to do with Transformers I love. And most of all, I love the act of transforming my Transformers. But today we're going to talk about the 5 Transformers that scare the living hell out of me to be able to transform them. These are Transformers that when I think about them, I want to run away. And I never want to transform them again. These are Transformers that I was so happy to get through the post, and when they came, I transformed them. I was sweating, I was pulling my hair out, I was praying not to break them. And then once I get them in their bot mode, I think I never want to do that again. So these are my top 5 Transformers that terrify the life out of me when I think about having to transform them.
So let's take a look at the 5 figures that strike utter fear into my heart every single time I think I have to transform them. And number 1 is this little guy here. Now, this is not because of the complexity of transforming this dude, because it's a pretty simple transformation. He comes from the Sonic Wave, which is, I think it's the Toy House version of Soundwave. Now, this dude is nice. It's a really nice version of Laserbeak. But I'll tell you why he scares the life out of me every time I have to transform him. And that's because of these bits here. Because this is a translucent plastic, it's pretty damn weak. And he comes with his little brother Buzzsaw. And I'll show you what happened to Buzzsaws. So if I transform my Buzzsaw out, and then I transform this section of Buzzsaw out as well, and I transform this part of Buzzsaw here, you can see that mine actually snapped at this joint because it's translucent and it's very weak. So I tend to keep this dude now like this in his tape form. That's how I display him in his tape, like this, and they can be displayed together. So that's, first of all, why this one scares the life out of me every time, because of this one joint here. So when you do transform this one, if you have got this, make sure that you're moving the whole joint together, not just this one, because that's how I snapped it. At number 4, we have Devastator's leg from the NBK version of Devastator, and there is one reason why this terrifies the life out of me, and you can go back and watch the full review on this and the entire Devastator right here, and you'll see, because I bring it up in that. This is the reason why. So actually, as a figure, this holds together fairly well. It's actually pretty holds together well, but if I just undo this joint right here snaps into this peg here when you put it in, and then when you open it, it's on this little tiny joint here, and I am always absolutely terrified because this fits very snugly, very snugly in there, snug as a bug in a rug. And every time I go to pull this off, I just think that this piece here is going to snap along with it. The NBK Devastator is pretty good. It holds together, but you know, it's not made of the most expensive plastics and things like that, but it does hold together nicely. But I'll tell you what, that joint right there fills me with dread during the transformation process every single time. Next up is the APC version of Transformers Prime Megatron. So this is a fantastic figure. This is the Dark Master. Again, you can see my full review of this dude appearing around here right now somewhere. This is a fantastic figure, beautifully articulated, lovely size, beautiful accessories, everything, even a light up cannon. But good lord, the transformation on this dude is crazy. I've seen multiple reports of people who, once they maneuver these bits here at the back out and you move the legs into position to create the alt mode, that these bits here loosen very, very quickly and actually can get stress marks if you do transform this guy. I've only transformed this dude twice since I've had him, and the thought of transforming him again does terrify me, because I've seen so many horror stories online with people saying now his arms, they're just as loose as anything, and these joints are overstretched, and just people are not happy. So as beautiful as the alt mode is in this, I am so scared of transforming him. He looks beautiful, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot that needs to happen, and everything just needs to fall into the right place to be able to do it, and I'm so scared that I can't do it. At number 2 is Fans Hobby Athena. Just the thought of having to transform this one, it's like somebody's just jumped all over my grave. I think I would rather go 12 rounds with Jason than transform this one sometimes, because it would be less horrifying. Number one most horrifying thing about this, and probably the first thing that you do during a transformation sequence, is remove the heat. And when you remove the heat, horror stories that I have seen online from fans' hobbies themselves, might I add, of the little head getting stuck inside the body, and they've shown how to do it, but that absolutely terrifies me. I definitely don't want to get the head stuck in the body. I mean, for me as well, round the back here, you can see my legs never attach properly on this one, so that irritates the life out of me. Then we have this piece here, which is parts forming and comes off, and trying to get it back in on correctly in the Porsche mode with the head and the dude inside. Oh, it's horrible. Also, and again, you know, I'm not going to take him off, this leg, on the head itself, the ball joint on this one pops off constantly, and I'm scared that I do all of these in my attic, and I'm just very scared that the leg is going to pop off across the attic and I'm never going to find the leg again. So that, for multitude of reasons with this figure, I absolutely despise transforming it. I do think that it looks beautiful in this mode and in the other mode. Everything that needs to happen, no thank you. This definitely more of a trick than a treat to transform. And at number 1, I'm so sorry Fans Hobby, it is the Fans Hobby POWERBASER, aka their version of PowerMaster Optimus Prime, or Super Godmaster GINRAI, multiple names depending on where you are and what continuity you are saying this is from. Good lord, I can't begin to describe how excited I was when I was buying this this figure. I'd seen this as somebody new back to collecting. I'd seen this figure during people's collections, and I was like, oh my god, that looks like the best version of PowerMaster Optimus Prime or Super God GINRAI that I've ever seen in my entire life. How do I get it? Where is it? It arrived. I was super happy. I got this dude on AliExpress. I was super happy. He came, and truck mode looks fantastic. Loved it. Tried to transform it into this mode. I have never been so frustrated in all my life. It could well be my figure, don't get me wrong, and if these stay in, I'll be amazed even while I'm showing you. These two
tabs here have these little tiny pegs underneath here that they need to peg into. Do they want to stay in place for me? Do they? Hell, they do not want to stay in there. They want to run away like some people running away from Freddy. Every single piece. They do not want to stay within there. They absolutely terrify me. Then at the back, trying to get these wheels in on mine. The clearance on mine, it barely goes in and always wants to pop off. This piece wants to pop off. It wants to pop off. Everything else is pretty much okay, but it is this whole cab concept fitting into there, molding around the back, and then having to stay together. It's just so difficult to do, to line up, to make sure that these are lined up. And I think even now, even though I can get this in, I haven't got it quite lined up down there. I know, I just can't get it to do so. I've watched multiple videos, tried multiple times with different things. So the whole idea and concept of transforming this guy, which is what I love to do with my Transformers. I am the #1 person that keeps going around saying I will not buy a Transformer unless it transforms. But I hate transforming this. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. So they are my 5, and they're the reasons why. Let me know down in the comments, what are your most terrifying Transformers? What Transformers have you got that you absolutely hate transforming? Have you got similar challenges with these that I have? Do you know how to make this dude transform very easily? I'd be really keen to know. If you like what I'm doing around here, give us a like, a share, and a subscribe. And as always on this channel, I'll see you in my next video. In a bit, have a happy Halloween!